I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. ...2018 BMW M5.
600 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque.
But more importantly, it's the car for Mission Impossible. So this is the new M5.
Yes, it is. It is newly redesigned.
Everybody's pretty excited about it.
They are.
This has that cool new color that's being used in every single promo video.
It is blue and it looks very good.
We recently drove the M3 and now we've got the M5, which is the bigger 4-door. We haven't driven the M4 yet, which is the 2-door M3.
That's right. Or the M2, which we're also going to drive.
What do you think of this so far?
I do really like it, but there's a lot of things that are not my favorite.
Personally, I've been having a great time with it. The things you pointed out to me are kind of true, but I still really like it.
We'll get to those later. This is the first all-wheel drive M5, but you can disconnect the front axle and make this rear-wheel drive full-out drift mode, basically.
This is a twin-turbo V8.
Yes, a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8.
The E63S can also disconnect the front wheels and go full rear-wheel drive.
And it has a mode called drift mode. In this car, it's not called drift mode.
So this is a direct competitor for the E63S.
Yes, it is.
I guess we can start by comparing one thing, and that's exhaust tone.
Yeah, okay. I would love to talk about that because this is not my favorite.
No, it's like not nearly as loud as it should be when it's competing with an E63S.
Yeah, it's so subtle. But if you're the type of person that wants a subtle exhaust, this is the one. You're not going to be that jerk in the E63S, which I want to be.
I guess, like, who kind of buys this car?
Very rich people that are executives.
And fans of Mission Impossible. This is not an ad for Mission Impossible. I saw the movie, I was super stoked. Just whatever.
Yeah. Can I also just point out your shirt? It looks like Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
It's an awesome shirt.
All right, moving on from your shirt. I don't think it's very awesome.
If you want to buy an even awesomer shirt,
right here. Awesome shirts. Merch store in the description.
Spread shirt or something.
Spread shirt. We'll just put the link up right now.
We have an exhaust button, but it seems to only make more exhaust come on the interior.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called like M sound enhancer or something like that. Anyways, it's interior sound is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not an exhaust flap. Even though this does have one, it doesn't control it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I think the M3 was louder or sounded better than this.
The M3 sounded better.
But it's like, bummer. But I guess, like, whatever.
No, it's not whatever, man. You can't say whatever about an exhaust tone or certain things. Exhaust makes a car, to me.
Yeah, but the people who buy this may not want a loud exhaust. And if they want a loud exhaust, then they go to Mercedes.
That's kind of the thing, though. Like, they could have made this louder, and then they could have had an exact competition on a crazy level of V8s.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I think Mercedes has figured out the V8 sound from twin turbos, whereas I think BMW is still struggling a little bit.
Okay, and we've entered cliche corner. I'm gonna get a little send.
Yeah, go for a little send.
I found this car very easy to drive fast.
It is.
It is so rewarding anytime you floor it, and anytime you go around something and floor it, you're way past everyone else.
It's ridiculously fast. It is on the same level as the E63S. It is stupid fast.
I feel like Ethan Hunt.
Who's that?
Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay.
Just flying through the streets in this, get away from any bad guys, go for a full sprint.
Yeah, he likes to run in all of his movies, doesn't he?
Like the way he drove in that movie, I feel like I could get away from people in this.
So you're saying that this car is made for you because of the movie?
Well, it's a little quiet.
Yeah, okay.
But I do like it. So let's talk about some of the weird things about driving it. First is the shifter.
Yeah, they tried to make it like a manual shifter.
It's like a weird joystick thing, but you need to click right now to get into drive and sport mode, and then like, it's weird. You get used to it,
yeah,
but it's weird.
It's just a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. That's it.
We don't have like drive modes, but we do have buttons for our power, suspension, and steering.
And this is my favorite way of adjusting them because it's exactly like the M3 CS. It's so simple.
You just click and then it'll cycle through efficient, sport, or sport plus.
And I have full control individually.
And then we have a traction button that throws you into four-wheel drive sport, which is kind of traction off. And if we hold it, then it'll go into full traction off.
And two-wheel drive mode.
Two-wheel drive mode we need to set up through our M performance buttons.
That's right, which is slightly confusing, but I love having those M performance buttons.
So we've got two red buttons on our steering wheel.
M dynamic, whatever they're called.
M1 and M2.
Yeah.
The best thing is once you set it up, you can get into any mode in like no time at all.
Yeah.
So most cars to go to traction off and rear wheel drive in an all-wheel drive car like the E63S, how long would that take?
Like 45 seconds.
Watch this. Click, click.
Done.
Rear wheel drive, traction off.
I love it. That is the perfect setup. Having 2 buttons right
Yeah.
there. One for like kind of sending and one for like really jail send.
Exactly. Like when
Yeah.
you need to get away from the bad guys, you don't have time to turn it to 2-wheel drive mode in your infotainment.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, Tom Cruise gone.
It's perfect. I want those buttons in every single car ever. And the fact that they're red just makes it for me.
Yeah, it's wicked. What you can also set up with the buttons is your head-up display. So we have normal head-up display, which is the number at the bottom that's like reduced. And then we've got the M head-up display.
That is my favorite one.
I actually don't like it. You do get a shift light on your head-up display when you're in the M mode, which is pretty cool. But if you turn off your M head-up display, then you get a shift light in your gauges.
It's like a spider web.
I've never seen this kind of shift light before. I saw it first in the infotainment. I'm like, oh my God, this is cool. I need to redline it. And it just like bubbles up. Very easy to see in your peripheral, and it looks so cool.
See, I didn't find it easy to see in my peripheral, and that's why I prefer the heads-up display.
Very fair. Can I say one more weird thing about the gauges?
All right.
Before we get more into it.
Oh, more into the gauges.
They prioritize satellite radio over your tachometer.
Yeah. When I did that by accident, I was like, are you kidding me? Yuri loved it. He was losing it.
I think it's hilarious, but I also think they shouldn't do that. I do think they're way too busy, and they don't have enough cool things to simplify it.
Yeah, there's no other modes is what I noticed as well. Like, you know how the M760 Li, you got like different colors and stuff like that?
Yeah, and the X3 too. They had a mode where you can make the full speedometer on the left.
Yeah.
But you can't do just a full digital speed. But what they do have a cool thing is highlighted speedometers.
I did notice that.
I think they need more options to have cool digital displays on their new digital gauge cluster like Mercedes does.
They should take advantage of what they have.
Definitely. And the lines on the gauges also turn red when you go into 4-wheel drive sport or traction off.
That is pretty cool.
It's subtle, but at least you kind of know more when your traction's off.
You definitely want to know because this thing will really step out on you.
Yeah, so we have 4-wheel drive sport and 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. So technically 4-wheel drive sport is kind of like a little bit of drift mode.
Yeah, it enables you to slip out the back a little bit more.
The thing is, we haven't been able to fully test it. So BMW, next time you got like a wet road course to test the stuff out.
You got our numbers.
Yeah. So before I let you drive,
today's sponsor,
Vincero watches.
right here.
I got my new blue one to match my blue shirt. Okay, it's
I got this one because it was red and the stitching is red. So you know how I like red stitching?
contrast
Black.
stitching.
Yeah, exactly.
This
It's like
one's-
an interior.
This one's actually to match my blue suit.
Oh, really?
And I also have a Vincero watch for my wife,
Oh, that's right. Let
and
me
she
see that.
loves it.
That's a pretty nice watch. Look at that.
So if you're looking at buying a Vincero watch, you have a cool Vincero watch like we do,
We use the coupon code right here, StraightPipes09, VinceroWatches.com.
your turn.
To send?
In a launch control,
Yeah.
why not?
Launch control. M dynamic, manual shifting, super fast shifting, traction control off.
Melt my brain. Oh my God.
It's so fast! Okay,
Oh, that is really fast.
it's so fast. It's E63S level of fast. 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds.
but less aggressive.
It is less aggressive. It's less violent. Lights aren't flashing race flags at me. They're not flashing red at me. I don't hear the exhaust screaming. It's at the level of speed, but it's not the level of sensation.
I guess you could say this is more mature.
It is way more mature.
Way more mature.
Yeah, and we are not mature people.
No.
As you saw, launch control is a little bit too complicated to do. I wish it was just brake, gas, done.
But what's cool about it is it'll keep upshifting through gears as long as the race flag is showing and your foot is all the way down to the kick down pedal.
Yeah, even though you have to be in manual, it actually shifts for you as long as you have your foot. Now, since I'm at Cliche Corner, let's get into something that I don't like about this. So I'm gonna send it, and it does handle really, really well. I have no complaints about the handling, but what I do have a complaint about is the steering and how it feels. So I have never experienced this in a car before. So what happens is the steering wheel kind of fights you. So when you do a little left jitter like that, it tries to correct itself and go back on center every single time.
I noticed that once you pointed out to me, we do our little, wiggle the steering wheel test.
Yeah.
But
And it's so weird. I've never felt that in a car.
it is weird, but anytime I'm driving, I've had no issues.
Yeah. So for the most part, you don't really notice it, but certain times you just notice it, and to me, it bothers me. So I've tried all of the different steering modes, and to me, honestly, comfort helps a lot for this car.
Really?
Yeah, it's still not great, but the steering, it just bothers me.
Doesn't bother me one bit.
The handling doesn't, it's just the steering itself. Now that I have that rant out of the way, that's honestly the only problem I really had with this car.
Okay, that's cool.
The other thing is it kind of just feels all digital. Everything feels really digital and you don't really feel connected to the car.
Yeah, especially after driving the RS3 and then hopping into this BMW.
Well, even the M3 CS, I felt way more connected to that car than I do to this car.
Yeah, but they've got a lot of like fancy electronic stuff like they had in the 7 Series and the X3.
Oh, super fancy.
Like we've got that silly little wand twirling hand. I'm trying to do it out of sight so it doesn't actually turn up the volume.
Yeah, we'll do it down. There you go.
We have those buttons like we had in the 7 Series where they're beveled, but they're still digital through, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of gloss black, but this is at the price point that it doesn't matter.
We've got the 360 cameras that look super cool.
Yeah.
We don't have a rewinding satellite radio station still, even though some other guy has it in his BMW and the Mini Cooper had it. I'm gonna talk to a BMW engineer and try to figure this out. I'm so sorry, I don't know the answer yet.
We will get an answer for you. Yuri will. The handling is very good, and the tires are very good, which help with that because they are a Michelin Pilot Super Sport PS4S. And when you put it in the 4-wheel drive sport mode, the back end gets really squirrely, which is really fun. The only thing I don't like is I would like rear-wheel drive with traction on. So I want sport traction with rear-wheel drive because it's instantly off and
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in a ditch, and I can't afford to put this into a ditch.
I feel like there's a reason all the companies do that. It's like if you want rear-wheel drive, you're on your own. It's probably like way more engineering and way more cost for people who barely use it.
Yeah, and I get that, and if I was on a track, I would be using that, but on the roads, I'm just not gonna use it because I don't want to put this into a ditch.
All right. But the more important stuff, we have Apple CarPlay, but it's all wireless.
And there's no Android Auto because BMW.
So I didn't even bother syncing my phone to the Apple CarPlay because it gets so annoying. Give me that string and make us like a switch in the menu. There's so many menu options, make that a menu option.
That's true. There are a lot of customizations in the menu.
You wanna know what else is a customization in the menu?
What's that?
The interior lights.
Okay, which ones?
Well, like, the normal ones that go like in every single BMW. We got like
Okay.
the crappy colors like lilac, blue, green, gold, and white.
My best part of the lighting is the M5 badges that light up in the seats.
That is very nice. When you start the car at night, you can see that.
Yeah.
But back to these interior lights.
Okay.
There's a mode to make them like darker at night because it does get too bright. I was driving in the rain and I swear these blue lights were blinding all my mirrors.
And what about the white lights in the Bowers & Wilkins stereo system?
No, I kept those on. Those are gangsters.
Yeah, they're so cool.
I want more colors and just more colors. More colors, BMW.
You know what I want? More sends. Oh, it's so fast, man.
Yeah.
It's so fast. Okay, so a little bit of sending again. So I did say that you have to have it in the fastest shifting mode. Now this is an auto, it is not a dual clutch, and the transmission is very, very good. I really like it.
It's lightning.
It is lightning for sure. For an auto, regular torque converter, it is perfect. It is an 8-speed and you can customize how fast it shifts.
You can customize how fast it shifts, but if you're in low RPMs, it still doesn't shift super fast.
That's right.
But when you shift next to like 7, man, does it shift quick and loud.
It is loud on shift.
Which is awesome because, you want fast shifting, but you don't need fast shifting at like 3,000.
Yeah, and I get that too. Might as well talk about the suspension because it is very good. It's still very, very comfortable in all drive modes. Like Sport Plus, no problem. The only thing is the handling, just because of the steering, feels a little twitchy. It's like just a little twitchy, but
And
I'm gonna
I
stop
have
talking
had
about that.
no issues with it. Again.
Yeah, I know, but it's me and I like to drive cars relatively hard and I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing. I get away from all kinds of bad guys. Run as fast as I can. Ride a motorcycle with no helmet. Da-na-na. You know what else this car has?
Soft closed doors?
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's nice.
Part of the premium package.
You know what else is pretty premium?
What's that?
We have one grocery bag hanger in the trunk.
Of course you'd mention that.
And we got a huge trunk, which is very nice. Peasant blockers in the back.
Yeah, peasant blockers on the sides, which are manual, which is fine, but in the back, it is fully automated.
We've got fancy carbon fiber-ish stuff. We got nice white interior, which looks awesome. I think this looks like one of the best interiors ever.
I do agree. I think it looks better than the E63S interior, but I also may be being tricked because it's a white interior, and I really like white interiors.
Yeah, I can see that being a trick.
I like white and red interiors, so I'm an instant sucker for that.
We don't have a sunroof,
No, we don't, because we have a carbon fiber roof.
and we have visors that maybe extend.
Who knows? Oh, these are big visors.
3, 2, 1.
Hang on. No, that's a fail.
No, nothing. I've got a small cup of coffee, which fits perfectly into the cup holders.
This one also does have the advanced driver package, so you do have lane keep assist and all that stuff. It works really well.
I did want to mention that I was using it on the highway. Stop and go traffic was perfect, and I feel like lane keep assist was a little better than the X3. I feel like
I agree.
That jerked us around a little bit. I've had no issues with this yet so
I
far.
agree. I think this is the best lane keep we've used from BMW. And the last thing I'd like to mention about the interior, massage seats.
Yes.
They work quite well.
But then I also want to mention the seat position thing.
Okay.
Anytime you change your seat position, it'll prompt you on the screen if you want to save that as your new seat position.
Yeah, as soon as you put your hand down there, you don't even have to touch a button because they're proximity sensors.
Yeah, but like once you move it, it says save as seat position 2.
All right, that's enough about this interior. It's very good.
The looks. To be honest, there's nothing that's really my favorite part.
It doesn't really stand out. Like, it looks like a BMW.
Yeah, I don't like the color.
What?
It's one of those blues that's just not that cool.
Oh, that's a cool blue. It looks really good.
I don't like subtle colors.
Okay, anyways, rest of the car.
It has a nice stance,
Yeah, it looks a little wider than other BMWs.
nice wide tires from behind. It looks really good, but it does look like a regular old BMW.
Yeah, the only thing that stands out to me is the exhaust on the diffuser from the rear end, and it looks really good, and it sounds pretty good from the outside, just not that good from in here.
I like the little fender badge area. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's really nice, little touch there.
I do like the regular old BMW body lines. I think it looks fantastic.
And the amazing classic BMW headlights,
And
which look
tail
amazing.
lights.
Yeah, like it's really, really good, but it doesn't stand out that much. Which again, the exhaust, everything kind of makes sense. It's more subtle compared to an E63S.
And that's fine. Like, I'm more excited to drive the i8 because of the looks, even though it's slower.
But it's not subtle.
Yeah, it's not subtle. But I'm not a subtle person.
No, you're not.
As you can tell by Jacob's shirt.
Yeah. Okay, let's finish this off. How do we do that, Yuri?
The price.
It's very expensive. It starts at $113,000.
And this one is
$133,800.
Canadian. Is that too expensive though?
No, it is legitimately supercar performance. It is so fast.
I think the people who are buying this don't even care. They would probably pay even more down the line.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is like really fast, really cool. It is now like an iconic movie car as well. Like,
Yeah. And in terms of performance, this is kind of a bargain compared to the M3 CS, but that's more rare.
you know what I'm excited for?
What's that?
M8.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
That's good. That's gonna wipe the floor. with
Huge
this.
coupe.
That's gonna look way cooler.
Yeah.
But you can't fit all your bad guy partners in the car in a
my
two-door. They need to have back doors to get in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there
Think
you
about
go,
it, man.
I've thought about it like a lot.
Okay, so let's ask this one question before we end the video.
All right.
E63S sedan or M5?
E63S sedan for me.
Because the exhaust,
Yes.
more obnoxious.
Yes.
I
You?
kind of like the infotainment and stuff more in the Mercedes as well.
So overall, you'd take the E63S over this.
Yeah, I'd kind of have to.
Have we actually agreed on a car for once?
Let us know in the comments what you would pick. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell,
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes and join our membership.
YouTube membership with the buttons. It's hard to say. We're working on it.
Yeah.